In this video, I'm going to show you how to place the rear parking brake cable on this Honda Civic. It goes from your parking brake lever all the way to the rear wheel. Let's get started. Use a 19mm socket to remove all 5 lug nuts and then remove the wheel. Now remove the brake drum. Sometimes it gets stuck on the hub, and if that's the case, tap it with a hammer till it breaks free, or if the shoes are holding it on, make sure the e-brake is not engaged. Otherwise, it should wiggle off fairly easily. I sprayed everything with some brake parts cleaner, not only so we can see what's going on better, but drum brakes are very dusty inside, and I wanted to get rid of all of that dust before I fling it up in the air while working. Whether you're doing the left or the right side, the procedure is the same, but we do have to remove the rearward shoe, which is the one that has the parking brake lever attached to it on the back side. You might not have to remove this one, but this has to come off. Let's start with the upper spring. We'll unhook it and then work our way down. There's a retainer here and then a lower spring. Right up here, there's the adjuster, and it's got a little tab that you can pull away. Once you pull that away, you can stick a screwdriver or a pry bar, whatever else you have in here, and spin the adjuster. In my case, I have to spin it in the upwards direction. This will compress the shoes and bring them closer to each other. Doing that allows me to remove this upper spring a whole lot easier. Now we do have to readjust at the end, but that's okay, we would have to do that anyway. The reason you want to hold this tab is so that it doesn't lock the adjuster wheel. This is what the tab does, it's just a lock, so it doesn't spin backwards by itself. I'm going to stick a flathead screwdriver right up here to push the spring away, and then I prefer to use needle nose locking pliers. I think it makes taking the spring a lot easier because it can grab onto it and hold onto it, plus you get some leverage to pull on it. Now these springs aren't extremely strong, it's a small vehicle, so don't expect too much out of it, but they do have some strength to them. There we go. Just unhook it, and I'll take it off of both sides and set it aside. Remember which direction it goes. This forward-facing shoe had the longer arm of the spring. Now we have to release the pin that holds the shoe in place. I'm going to get to it from the back side and press the spring in with a screwdriver and just twist that 90 degrees, release it, remove this, and push the pin through the back side, or you can leave it in, whatever you want, but I prefer to take them out just so I can inspect them. The shoe at this point will come off. Inspect that pin. It is kind of rusty, but reusable. Take the shoe off, and there is another spring on the bottom, so you have to kind of twist it to unhook it. And this is what we're after. To get this lever off of the cable, you just pull the spring back, and there we go. On the back side of the backing plate, there's a 12mm bolt that holds the cable and its bracket onto the backing plate. You're gonna have to break this free and remove it. It does help to spray this with a little bit of rust penetrant. Oftentimes they get stuck. Looks like in this case it's pretty easy to remove, so that's good. Once you've removed the bolt, you can pull the cable and the spring and everything right through. Follow the cable and you'll see where it bolts onto this rear trailing arm. Remove that, 12mm also. Keep going along the cable. There are more 12mm bolts that hold brackets onto the body of the vehicle. Now above this shield, you'll see that the cable goes into the vehicle through a boot. We do have to pop that boot off, and the rest we'll have to do from inside the vehicle. Just going to use a trim tool very gently. Try to get this off of here. All right. Now from inside, we have to access the underside of this whole center console so that we can disconnect the other end of the parking brake cable. I'm going to start with removing the trim, this bezel around the shifter. If you have a manual transmission, you'll have to pull the shift knob first, and then the same way there will be a boot and then the bezel that is built into the boot. You'll have to pop that up. There will also be a little clip down here when you pull the shift knob. Now pop the larger trim piece off. I recommend using plastic trim tools wherever possible, just so you don't damage this surface. You're gonna have to engage the parking brake just so that the lever can be out of our way. Okay, this right here is not broken. It is meant to be split. Now you can pull this right up and off. Drop that back down. Once you have that off, you'll see 2 Phillips head or 8mm headed bolts, screws actually, and you'll want to unthread those. Follow the center console towards the front where you'll see a plastic push clip all the way on the end of it. There's one on each side. We'll have to pop both sides off in order to get this disconnected. And to do that, use a trim tool, pop out the center. With the center popped out, you should be able to grab the whole push clip. That will release this entire side. On the passenger side, this black trim piece needs to pop off if you just pull on it, and that will expose this push clip. Take a trim tool, pop it out the same way. Now you're going to want to open this up and remove the bottom cover here. That'll expose 2 more Phillips head or 8mm screws. Remove those as well. Now you'll be able to grab this entire center console, push the 2 front pieces out so they can clear. And pull it back. And just keep going until it's removed and out of your way. Now down here you'll see the equalizer with the 2 cables. Twist one of them to make it line up with this cutout and pop it straight up. Okay, just pull it back out of this retainer. Should have plenty of space underneath. Send it out through the floor. Take your new cable and run it over this shield and into the vehicle. If you wanted to install the boot now, you can. When you press it in position, just make sure that you don't damage it, but it does have to be obviously seated all the way. And if you put a little bit of silicone paste on the edge of the boot, sometimes that can help because it'll slide into place easier. There we go. You can also double check from the inside once we go back in there. Since I'm under here, I'm just going to start reattaching the brackets of the cable in their spot. I put a little bit of anti-seize on these bolts because they were pretty rusty on the threads. There we go. Snug them up. If you have the ability to torque these, 16 foot-pounds is the torque. If not, just make it nice and snug by hand. I'm going to put it through the backing plate here and attach it with the bolt, but I won't be attaching the shoe yet because I want the slack in the cable for when I attach the other end to the equalizer. Now inside the vehicle, let's get the cable hooked into the slot and push the sheathing through this bracket. Pull on the cable itself. This is why we needed the slack from the other end. Hook it on to this, and this could be a little difficult, especially if you can't spin it very easily. You need all of the slack you can get. Okay, that's in. Make sure everything is sitting even as it should be. Make sure everything is sitting properly here. Double check that boot that it's sealed up, which it is. So let's put the interior back. Bring the center console back in and make sure that the seatbelt buckles don't get caught. Line everything up. All right, that fell into place perfectly. Inside the armrest compartment, reinstall the 2 screws that hold this on. They're just holding onto plastic, so snug them up. About 1/8 of a turn, at most a quarter, after they bottom out is plenty. Don't forget to put back this cover for the bottom. Close this up. Put the 2 screws on the front here. And tighten these up. Snug. And snug. Put the push clip back in. And lastly, this cover. There we go. And the push clip on the driver's side. Get that back in. Let's hook the parking brake shoe back up. I'm going to start with this lever. Hook it on to the cable. Just like that. And then the spring on the bottom. This is a very light spring. Make sure that cable sits up in there in its spot. Bring the shoe in. Get the pin in through the back side and have the spring retainer ready. And put this over just like when we removed it. I'm going to use the flathead screwdriver to compress it from the back side. I'll twist it 90 degrees and that should lock it in. There we go. Make sure the adjuster is sitting in its proper location so we can put that upper spring on. And remember how it went. Shorter side on the rear shoe, longer side on the front shoe. Okay, I got it partially hooked on. Going to press it in with my screwdriver. And that is hooked in. Now it's time to bring the adjuster back to where it was before so we can obviously have proper adjustment of the rear brakes. So I'm going to do that by spinning it in the opposite direction that I spun it to loosen things up. Make sure the brake shoes are seated evenly. Put the drum back on. I don't really hear any pad friction. All I'm hearing is the wheel bearing spinning, so I'm going to take this back off and keep adjusting, expanding these shoes until I hear the least amount of friction. You want to hear them just barely touch and have the tiniest bit of drag. So the wheel or the hub with the drum is supposed to still spin freely, but you should hear the drum touch these shoes just the tiniest bit. And it looks like I adjusted a little bit too far, which happens. So we'll back this off a few turns. Okay, I backed it off a little bit. Let's try again. Oh, okay, making progress. I can hear them touch a little bit, which is great. However, now I'm going to go inside the vehicle and pull on the parking brake, engage it a few times. That will seat the shoes in here and of course on the other side. Then we'll come back over here and get a better assessment of how tight they actually are or how well adjusted they are. Okay, pulled on it a few times and I released it. Put pressure on the drum. For drum brakes, I would like to hear a little bit more friction out of these, so I'm going to adjust just a few more clicks. It's very sensitive at this point. A tiny bit goes a long way when it comes to this adjustment. All right, now that's a lot better, so let's pull on that parking brake again and come back and double check it. Put some pressure on the drum. That's a lot better. At this point, I'm going to put the wheel back on and test it once again with the wheel on. You want the weight of it to spin the hub and the drum. You want about 1 full rotation if you just give it a light spin before it stops by itself. That's how you know it's properly adjusted. Put the lug nuts back, of course, to hold the wheel on nice and snug. You don't have to torque it to test it, but they do have to be on snug. That's a little bit loose, so I'm going to take this back off and adjust it. I'll show you exactly what it's supposed to look like once it's properly adjusted. I readjusted. Let's put the Honda logo straight up. We'll use that as a reference. Give it a light spin, and stops at right about a turn. If you give it a bit more of a spin, almost 1.5, which is spot on to what you want it to be. Once again, 79 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Double check them. There you have it, job is done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.